Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Oakland Raiders. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
Carr completes it, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 3 catches, 53 yards.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You must be dreaming. Check. Fresno. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby.
They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Check. 55 to Mike. Check. 55 to Mike.
After the sack on first down, Carr. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Prescott now. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Switch up, switch up. What do you think?
On second down now. It's Elliott. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Connects here with the tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Throwing, Prescott. And it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And again, it's Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. It doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
The numbers for Zeke from last week, very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
This is Elliott. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. These two teams all tied after 1. From just shy of midfield, Prescott got his man there complete to Gallup. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the three is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
From the 31, Carr will find his tight end. That's Waller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
No.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down. Carr now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Kill.
From the gun, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. The Sanders has got it complete. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Prescott gets this to the tight end, Jarwin. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And they finally get to him as he's taken down. Max Crosby make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Man, where has the season gone? We're into Week 15 now. So let's give everybody a look at what's coming up here on what should be a very interesting weekend of football. As far as the early games go on Sunday, we'll have our eye on Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A big one for the Chiefs as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good games in the late afternoon as well. We'll stay out east and highlight the matchup at MetLife Stadium, where it'll be the Giants taking on what should be a very tough opponent. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And heading out for another drive, the Raiders defense. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that.
Right.
Totally missed it.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Prescott to throw it. That one complete to Elliott.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. Prescott from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
A second down throw for Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Malik Turner with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. On first down, Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
On second down, Richard. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard, that is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down.
And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
And he puts a little something extra into this one. By far his best of the night. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The throw complete here to Williams. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Carr now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Check it back. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
To throw again. Carr. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people. No errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They go to Elliott again. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us.
And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. On the ground, Richard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 35 on second down, Carr, and that's complete. It's Green here. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it. And
he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Carr. And the pressure gets to him again. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And an alley to run. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And his kick here is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Prescott now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Letting one go deep for a noon walk. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Throwing. Prescott got his man there, complete to Gallup. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Richard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Carr, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case. He's got a man complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Point after here coming up. And the lead is up to 14. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella, because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Carr now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
You ain't got nothing. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, cross.
Throwing again. Carr looking deep downfield. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A.J. Green, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake, Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Pulled in at the 24. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And the numbers show it, low involvement early. But since he's been involved, it's been a good thing for this offense.
Indeed it has, and when you're able to finally get him going, get him fully integrated into the offense, things feel a whole lot better for your team. It expands everything that they do trying to move the football.
They'll run on first down. Richard, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They go play action here on first down. He's airing it out for Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Check 43.
To throw again. Carr, he's going to air it out deep for Green. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Check 3.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Jalen Smith in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And shedding his way forward. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home,
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
From the red zone now, Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Elliott. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You look at the geography of the field, right, where you are. That's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Cowboys, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.